Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today from Knowledge to Action, celebrating 10 years of the California Earned Income Tax Credit. We're really excited to meet with everybody today. We've got a whole bunch of wonderful guests from around the state. Today, we're going to talk about why we are involved in this work, why we think tax credits and free tax prep is so impactful. We're also going to talk about the different milestones that have happened over the past 10 years with the CalEITC. Then we're going to do a deep dive into Free Tax Prep 101, really sharing how community members can file their taxes for free, help save money, and get tax credits back in their pocket. And then we'll talk a lot about the work that we're doing around ITINs and, of course, the power of collaboration and how Free Tax Prep is one of the best tools to get community members access to lots of other programs around the state. And then, of course, we want to see how you can get involved. So today's goal is we want you to leave with concrete next steps. So whether this is doing education for yourself, whether it's educating people in your community, or finding ways to provide free tax prep in your community. So we've been doing this work for a really long time, and I really feel like now more than ever, this is really such a needed service. According to our real cost measure report, we know that 1 in 3 California households do not make enough income to meet basic needs. And 97% of these families have at least one working adult. So what that tells me is just because you're working full time doesn't mean that it's enough to keep up with the cost of living here in California. 7 in 10 California households that are led by single mothers fall below the real cost measure. And we know that Black and Latino households tend to struggle the most. And over half of young children live in households that don't meet basic needs. So, what are we doing to change this? A lot of the work that we do is helping families become financially stable, helping them climb the economic ladder. So, we do this by educating families on different tax credits and the importance of filing their taxes. We provide free tax prep services through unpaid VITA volunteers. We help make tax credits more accessible to a wider range of people, and we're helping increase the dollar amount of these tax credits. In 2024, the United Ways of California network helped people save $37.6 million just in free tax preparation fees. They were able to get $42.2 million back just through the EITC and $35 million back through the child tax credit. And these are just numbers from people who filed their taxes for free. So this isn't even an all-encompassing number for everybody who is filing their taxes every year. So we are really proud because it was a long journey to establish the California Earned Income Tax Credit. And so, like I mentioned, it's the 10-year anniversary of the California Earned Income Tax Credit, 50-year anniversary of the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is the federal version of the credit. And we really have seen this credit change so much over the past 10 years, and we've been able to see the deep impact that it's had in communities. We know that tax credits not only help individuals, like on their tax returns and put money back in their pocket, but this money goes back into communities and into local economies. In 2023, 2.4 million California filers claimed the Earned Income Tax Credit, bringing $5.5 billion in refunds. And the EITC and CalEITC don't just provide financial relief. Like I said, they help boost local economies as money is going back into communities. The Earned Income Tax Credit, for those that don't know, is the #1 anti-poverty program in the United States. So it's helping economies, it's putting money back in people's pockets. And I think this next story really showcases the impact that tax credits can have on an individual's life. So this is Cindy, and Cindy is a real client. She lives in Northern California and she works full time as a medical receptionist. Though she was working full time, she was struggling to make ends meet, and she found herself living in a homeless shelter with her and her 3 daughters. She was able to get connected to a free tax prep site through United Way Wine Country, and you could see down below the refund that she got. And so when Cindy left her appointment, she had a $14,000 refund. And so I tell Cindy's story a lot for many reasons. One, because I actually think that Cindy's story is quite ordinary. I think Cindy is one of millions of Californians who are working full time. They're doing everything that they can to support themselves and their families, and it's still not enough because the cost of living has just gotten so expensive. I also love to think about the $14,000 and how life-changing that was for Cindy and her daughters. So with that refund, they were able to get into stable housing. She was able to like pay off some debt that was being able to hold her back from being able to move up to that next step in life. And so, like I mentioned, Cindy is just one of many. She's got an amazing, impactful story, but she's one of millions of Californians across the state that are doing everything that they can. So, next up, we have a special message from Senate Pro Tem Emeritus Tony Adkins.
Good evening. I'm former State Senator Tony Atkins. 10 years ago, California made history by creating the California Earned Income Tax Credit, a landmark policy to support hardworking families across our state. The idea was simple but powerful to provide meaningful support to Californians with low incomes, helping them to meet basic needs and invest in their futures. Over the past decade, the Cal EITC has put billions of dollars back into the pockets of Californians, lifting thousands out of poverty and strengthening local communities. This groundbreaking program was a result of a collaboration with Prosper California, with local community based and labor organizations, with a shared vision to build a more prosperous California where all families can thrive. The Cal EITC stands as an incredible example of what we can achieve when we work together to provide the support that millions of Californians rely on.
Thank you so much to Senator Adkins. Senator Adkins really played a critical role in helping establish the California Earned Income Tax Credit 10 years ago and helping make the tax credit more accessible, more inclusive, and a larger dollar size. So we are so appreciative of Senator Adkins, who will also be joining us later today. So, like she mentioned, there was so much that has happened over the last 10 years. In 2015, we were after many, many years of advocacy efforts with not just United Ways of California, but with advocates and partners all across the state, we were finally able to establish the California Earned Income Tax Credit. Since then, we've continued to make the credit more accessible to a wider range of people. So you could see in 2017, this included folks that were self-employed. We helped increase the limits. In 2018, it included people that were 18 to 24 and 65 and over. In 2019, we were able to establish the Young Child Tax Credit. And again, we were increasing the dollar amount that people got back. 2020 was really a landmark because this means that people with ITINs were included in the California Earned Income Tax Credit and the Young Child Tax Credit. In 2021, ITIN holders that qualified for the CalEITC were able to get the Golden State Stimulus. And this was really important because ITIN holders did not qualify for federal stimulus payments. So these Golden State Stimulus payments were really impactful and really important for our ITIN holders across the state. And then in 2022, we were able to lower the dollar amount. So families with $0 were able to be included in the Young Child Tax Credit, and we established the Foster Youth Tax Credit. Now, we've done so many great things over the past 10 years, but really our work is not done yet. We are going to help, well, our hope is to help expand the Cali ATC minimum to make that dollar amount more meaningful for people who qualify. We are hoping to expand the Young Child Tax Credit to include children up to the age of 17 years old, so it mirrors what happens at the federal level. And we are really hoping to make that $20 million in free tax prep funding at the statewide level. We really want that funding to be permanent. So that way Californians can really count on the service and we can continue to expand these services to more Californians. And then, of course, as always, we always want to make the self-filing process easier and more accessible. So next up, we're going to dive into everything around free tax prep so everyone can really understand what are the different ways that we could file for free and how do I get started. So, our site, myfreetaxes.org, we offer 3 different ways to file your taxes for free. So, first way is our most popular option, which is our in person option. And this is where folks can get connected to a site in their community and get the help of a volunteer income tax assistance or VITA volunteer. So, folks that have an AGI of less than $67,000 a year can go to a free tax prep site in their community and get their taxes filed for free. Our virtual option has the same qualifications. The only difference is you don't have to leave your home. So you could do the entire process virtually, upload the documents with your phone, take a photo, upload the documents, and you can get help from a VITA volunteer from anytime, anywhere. So this is a really wonderful option if you live in a community where maybe there aren't any VITA sites, or maybe your schedule doesn't accommodate going to an in-person VITA site. Our virtual option is a really wonderful option where you can get connected to a volunteer anywhere in the state. Our last option is our self-filing option. And so what I love about this is self-filing is available to anyone regardless of income. So if you have an AGI of less than $84,000, you are going to be routed to the TaxSlayer software. And if you have an AGI of higher than 84,000, you'll get directed to Cash App. If you need help or it's your first time filing your taxes on your own, we've got tons of resources on myfreetaxes.org. So in our resource hub, you can find our self-filing guide. So we have screenshot guides that walk you through step by step on how to file your taxes on your own. And we also have videos. So if you like video content, you could hop onto YouTube, and we've got videos in English and in Spanish. If you are ready to get started, so whether that's filing your taxes, maybe you want to see what tax credits you qualify for, or you're interested in applying for an ITIN, you can text the word taxes to 211-211. Next up, I would like to introduce Christopher Seriani, the president and CEO of United Way Stanislaus County, that's going to talk a little bit about how they are participating in free tax prep in their community. Christopher?
Thank you, Mandy, for that introduction, and thank you to everyone joining us today. It's an honor to be here to discuss the impact of free tax preparation services and share the success of our high school VITA program in Modesto, California. At United Way of Stanislaus County, we believe that financial stability starts with access to the right resources. Tax credits can be life-changing for families, as Mandy mentioned, but far too often people miss out simply because they can't afford professional tax preparation or don't know they qualify. That's why free tax preparation services like VITA are so critical. Not only do they help families claim the refunds they deserve, but they also empower communities through education and engagement. A perfect example of this is our high school VITA program, a partnership between United Way, Stanislaus County, and Downey High School. What started as a pilot program quickly became a powerful initiative that benefits both the students who volunteer and the community members they serve. In just 2 months, our high schools and community college students prepared over 200 tax returns. In fact, it was almost 300 tax returns, far surpassing our initial goal of 50. But the impact goes beyond the numbers. These students became IRS certified tax preparers, gained valuable skills in financial literacy, tax preparation, and client service. More importantly, they learned how to connect families with additional resources such as rent relief programs and other financial support. The knowledge these students gained didn't stay in the classroom. Many of them took what they learned home, helping their own families file taxes using myfreetaxes.org. This ripple effect of financial empowerment is exactly what we hoped for when we launched the program. Building on this success, we started our second cohort last September, and I'm proud to say that we now have nearly 40 high school and college students who have earned advanced levels tax certification. As we begin the new tax season starting tomorrow, our appointment slots are already fully booked for the month of February. Based on demand, we expect to complete between 500 and 700 tax returns this year. This program has shown us that VITA is more than just free tax prep. It's about building financial confidence, creating connections, and developing future leaders in our communities. Every student who participates walks away with real-world skills, a sense of accomplishment, and the ability to make a tangible difference in people's lives. As Mandy said, the demand for free tax prep services continues to grow. We need more organizations, volunteers, and advocates stepping up to expand access to these vital services. Whether it's spreading the word, recruiting volunteers, or hosting a tax prep site, there's a role for everyone in ensuring that Californians get the financial support they need. Thank you again for the opportunity to share our story. I look forward to continuing this conversation and working together to expand access to financial resources for all.
Thank you so much, Christopher. I love this program for so many reasons. We know the impact that VITA has in communities, but I think what I love so much about what's happening in Stanislaus County is one, these high schoolers are giving back to their community, they're getting involved in their community, people are getting their taxes done. But I think about the life skills that they learn from this, and it's huge, right? This is a skill that is going to benefit them for the rest of their life. Something I wish I would I would have learned how to do whenever I was in high school. Thank you so much, Christopher. So, next thing that I want to talk about is strengthening the support systems for our ITIN holders. So, VITA plays a really critical role in not just helping people file their taxes for free, but also applying for an ITIN. So, we help people file their taxes for free, and we also help them apply for an ITIN for free. This is really important because this paid service can cost upwards of $500. And sites with a certified acceptance agent can not only help you fill out the application, but they can actually process your documents for you, which is really wonderful. Janet's going to be sharing a little bit more about what that looks like in a little bit. But if you guys want to find a certified acceptance agent near you, you can look for that on our site, myfreetaxes.org. I think there's the ITIN program is such an amazing program for so many reasons. As you guys saw earlier when I talked about the history of the CalEITC, the inclusion of ITIN holders was really important because we know that ITIN holders are excluded from a lot of federal tax credits, things like Social Security and things like that. Despite that, ITIN holders play a really important part in our communities. And so not only living amongst us, right, and working alongside them, but ITIN holders contributed $96 billion in taxes federally last year, and $8.5 billion of that was just in California. So the ITIN process is really important, right? It's a really important aspect to ensure that we can help ITIN holders pay their taxes and help contribute to the economy and help contribute to our tax system. Next up, we've got a special message from Senator Durazo.
Thank you so much to Mandy, Jasmine, Jafet, and everyone at United Way, as well as the other free tax preparation partners for this opportunity to say a few words. Now, more than ever, we must reaffirm our values and stand with our immigrant families and communities. As Mandy may have already shared, immigrants can contribute billions of dollars in state, local taxes each year, even federal taxes. Yet despite these crucial contributions, immigrant families were excluded from the earned income tax credit until 2020. We had to fight for immigrant families to be included in CalEITC, and we will continue to fight the current administration to ensure working families retain access to the resources they deserve. I'm ready to continue that fight in the legislature, but a great policy can only be successful with the hard work of people in the field to support and educate around it. That's why I want to encourage our community-based organizations to do the essential on-the-ground work, reaching out and supporting ITIN filers in accessing CalEITC. Because of your work, we can make sure that all eligible families are connected to these resources. Families are feeling a lot of fear. Across sectors, we are hearing about the chill factor that this administration's actions are having on people who would otherwise be getting the resources and services. We need people on the ground, working closely with families, reassuring them that we will support them. That is the work of this moment. By working together as community-based groups, tax preparers, and policymakers, we will continue to move the needle to ensure fair access to all the resources for all our families, regardless of immigration status. Thank you again. I stand firmly with you in this effort. Together, let's make sure that everyone has a better life for themselves and their families. Together, let's make sure that everyone in California has a real chance to prosper.
Thank you so much to Senator Durazo. Couldn't have said it better myself. We appreciate her support and helping us uplift this, not only at the policy level, but really encouraging other community organizations across the state to get involved. So next up, I would like to introduce Janet Hernandez for Dreams for Change from San Diego, California. Janet?
Thank you very much, Mandy. To our presenters, advocates, and community members, thank you very much for being here today. For many, having an I-10 or being categorized as a non-filer is not a choice, but a reality shaped by personal circumstances, including immigration status, financial barriers, or the lack of access to formal employment. However, there is a heavy cloud of misunderstanding and fear that surrounds these groups. Recent concerns have only heightened this atmosphere of fear, as many are increasingly worried about the potential consequences for their financial future, their privacy, or even their safety itself. The growing stigma surrounding I-10s paired with the challenges faced by these non-filers can lead to anxiety, hesitance in seeking necessary yet existing resources, and reluctance to engage in critical financial and legal activities. Right. So first of all, what should we know about I-10s? Can we take it back one slide, please? Thank you very much. All right, so I-10s are issued regardless of immigration status. Should not be used to assume someone is undocumented. I-10 holders come from diverse backgrounds, which include individuals that are lawfully present in the United States, such as survivors of domestic violence, individuals on student visas, and certain spouses and children of those with employment-based visa holders. You must apply for an I-10 alongside with a tax return. So it is not a standalone document. It is in addition to filing a federal IRS tax return. The price that we have seen for the cost of these preparations has run at about $500, but there are free resources that allow our community members to have these returns done, completed for absolutely no cost at all. Next slide, please. So before we talk about what an I-10 is, I briefly want to talk about what they are not. So an I-10 does not authorize employment in the United States or grant legal immigration status. If somebody is here in the United States with a condition that they must not seek employment, this does not override that. It does not change this. They do not provide eligibility for Social Security benefits or the Earned Income Tax Credit. So an individual holding an I-10 is not eligible for Social Security simply because they hold an I-10 number. Social Security benefits are still only authorized to Social Security number holders. And I-10s do not serve as a form of identification outside of the tax system, right? So benefits of an I-10. Here's where we talk about what is an I-10. An I-10 is a 9-digit tax processing number issued by the IRS to help individuals ineligible for a Social Security number comply with the U.S. tax laws and process tax return payments. It is for the purpose of declaring one's taxes. Now, while I-10 holders are not eligible for certain tax credits like the EITC, they can still claim other tax credits if they meet certain criteria. Every credit has its own qualification specifications, and so long as they meet those, they might still qualify for a little refund or to lower their tax liability. And although emitted for tax purposes, I-10s are accepted by some institutions external to the IRS, meaning that although the purpose of the I-10 is for filing one's taxes, there are external institutions such as banks, car dealerships, and other government organizations and agencies that will accept the I-10 number in place of a Social Security number, such as for opening a bank account, applying for loans or a business, for building credit, securing a driver's license in some states, of course, and obtaining an employer identification number in order to start one's business. Alrighty, so how can our advocates and community-based organizations help? What role can we all play here? This is the power of education. That is what we together here hold. There are free services and a number of free services, not limited to a single One, here's what we can share with our community members. Through certified acceptance agents, our community members seeking ITIN services are able to complete not only their tax returns, but the ITIN application entirely for free while being able to hold on to their private documents. The normal process would be to submit these IRS required identifying documents alongside with their tax return and the ITIN application. With the assistance of a CAA or certified acceptance agent, they are permitted to make copies of the documents, retain their original documentation, and mail that instead. We can also refer them to an IRS Taxpayer Assistance Center. Now, although the assistance centers may not complete the tax return for the individual, they're able to look through the completed tax return, look through the documents that they have presented, and give them further instruction as to whether they have everything completed or if there is something missing so they can go ahead and take the next step. Or self-filing through the mail. If somebody is able to complete the application on their own or external assistance, they're able to mail out these documents by themselves. And these available options here cost nothing at all for our community members. This is how we can help. This is the information that we can share. Next slide, please. Okay, so you don't have to be a certified acceptance agent to assist an ITIN client. Anyone can begin an ITIN client's tax return. Anyone can provide them with the information and guidance. Anyone can help complete and submit an ITIN W-7 application. And with enough experience, anyone can help them get the required documents together. When it comes to ITINs, the fear here is the unknown. But together we can empower through collaboration and share these free resources with our communities, such as our VITA sites right here. Our VITA sites offer the free tax preparation services, no cost at all. And some of our free VITA sites also have certified acceptance agents who are able to complete that secondary portion, the W-7 application. And even those who do not have a CAA have a connection somewhere. They have the resources that we can all share. So even though you are a VITA organization that does not have a CAA available, you can still share these resources. So VITA sites without a certified acceptance agent can still assist new ITIN applicants and renewals with their W-7 forms. While they can't verify the identity documents or act as a CAA, they can still provide this guidance and refer the taxpayer to the next step so that they do not have to be one of those individuals that are paying the upwards of $500. Back to you, Mandy.
Thanks so much, Janet, and thanks for all the great work that you guys are doing in San Diego. Like I mentioned before, if you guys are interested in applying for an ITIN and you would like to do it with a certified acceptance agent, you can go to myfreetaxes.org, choose our in-person option, and you can navigate through our interactive VITA map and you can find a CAA near you. Like Janet also mentioned, maybe you're a provider and you're on this call right now and you don't have a CAA at your site. There are things that you could do to support your community members during that process. Next up, I want to talk a little bit more about the power of collaboration and really what partners are doing across the state to get community members connected to other programs in their community. Next up, I'd like to introduce Luis Mejia from United Way, Merced County. Welcome, Luis.
Hello, Mandy. Thank you for the introduction. Hello, my name is Luis, and I'm with United Way of Merced County, and I'm here just to talk about the power of collaboration and how it's important for VITA sites to collaborate with other organizations because we are a step in the door when it comes to helping individuals. You know, taxes are a year-round thing. They happen every single year. They're very consistent, and people always come to us and they trust us to prepare their taxes, but now we can try to find ways to have them continue on and find other services that they may qualify for. Now, here at United Way of Merced, for this specific year, we have two goals in mind, specifically not only extending the reach of the VITA program to help more people who qualify for those VITA services or for the CAA services for ITIN holders, but also help current clients find out about other programs that they may qualify for. So here at United Way of Merced County, we have been speaking with other organizations such as the Merced County Library Network, the Mariposa Senior Center, and the Merced County Office of Education, and speaking with them to, you know, they have their own groups of clients who need help with the VITA programs. They are getting help with their services of Head Start, for example, but now they need help with the VITA program itself. So we are partnering with them to see where in their communities, their clients, the cities that don't have VITA sites, how can we help them over there and take them free tax help or help them answer questions that they may have about their tax returns or letters they may be receiving in the mail. So we are in talks with them, even with, like I said, the Mariposa Senior Center. They're not even within Merced County. They're a neighboring county to Merced County, but there's no VITA site over there. So we're speaking with them and trying to find ways to help take free tax prep over there and help them in that regard. Now, in the next step, also helping our current clients find help that they may not know that they may qualify for. Now, we're partnering with CalAIM, a program that United Way Merced just started as well. And CalAIM, the main focus of that is to help people get Medi-Cal, help them apply for Medi-Cal, see if they qualify for Medi-Cal. But they do take it a step further and help these individuals not only apply for Medi-Cal, but see if they need help with housing, see if they need help with booking doctor's appointments, see if they need help with getting meals, or see if they need help with mental health and the support that may entail. So by collaborating with teams like this, we can have representatives from the CalAIM team be in our VITA sites during our prep days. And when we help somebody, we see that they may not have Medi-Cal that year. So we can then help them and attach them to one of those representatives of CalAIM to get them applying for Medi-Cal, see if they qualify for that Medi-Cal program. And from there, they can see, do you need help with housing? Do you need help with mental health? And then from there, we can then, help them with other programs that may want to be a part of the VITA line. So again, collaboration is super important when it comes to helping our clients. And on top of that, again, VITA is a constant thing. It is very consistent every single year. And like many, many things that there are there, we're a step in the door, to find other help that we may be able to help them. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Luis. I really, really love the holistic approach that partners like United Way, Merced are taking. CalAIM is such a wonderful example of how what this holistic approach looks like in person. So, like Luis mentioned, VITA is often the entry point. So maybe they come into your free tax prep site to get their taxes done. And one of the things that we can tell right away when doing people's taxes is, do you have health insurance? And so that's an indicator right away of saying, hey, we know what your income is. We could see that you don't have health insurance. Let's help you apply for public benefits. We also help connect people to different financial education across the state. So we've got a handful of amazing Spark Point programs that help people with their credit scores and help them become financially stable. And they do a lot of financial coaching. Helping people open bank accounts. Again, that's another major thing that we could tell right away when we're doing people's taxes. If someone's not doing direct deposit, it's a conversation starter to say, hey, is it that you are interested in this? Or maybe you're unbanked and let's talk a little bit about that. So, some of the things that United Ways of California is doing is our benefit screener. So, applying for public benefits can be time consuming, it can be confusing, and sometimes people just don't know where to start. And so, the United Ways of California benefit screener screens people for 19 different public benefits in just 10 minutes. Best part about it is it doesn't ask for any personal identifying information. And it's super easy. All you have to do is text the word benefits to 211-211 to get started. I really love the benefit screener for many reasons. One, it gives you a really holistic view of what types of benefits you qualify. Do you qualify for Medi-Cal, for childcare subsidies, maybe subsidies for broadband or for heat and things like that? But the other amazing thing, and the other reason why we encourage community members to use it is, maybe you get a promotion at work, or maybe you're going to change jobs and you're going to make more money, which is a wonderful thing. But it also can really impact your benefits. And so, what we encourage clients to do is do the benefit screener many times, right? It is good to use the benefit screener to see what is the what if scenario and how can I plan around that. The other thing that we're doing is we're helping people reach their larger financial goals with our site, mymoneypath.org. So we have a ton of interactive lessons. We've got a portal where you can track your progress. You can create customized goals. And it is all really aimed at helping people figure out what are my personal financial goals, what are the things that I need to work around, and really being able to build lessons around their needs. So we've got a wide range of lessons and topics on our site, including things around setting goals, creating a budget, our benefit screener, which I just showed you, access to low cost internet, opening a bank account, access to free tax prep, and of course, our state programs like CalSavers, CalKids, and CalAble. So, by chance, is our state treasurer here yet?
I believe they just got
Hi.
on.
Perfect.
Hi, the
Thank you.
treasurer, I'm gonna fill in for the treasurer today.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, we've got the state treasurer's office here. So, in place of Treasurer Fiona Ma, we have Catherine. So,
Hi,
over to you.
perfect timing. Happy CalEITC day and EITC week. So yeah, I'm sorry the treasurer couldn't make it, but I am Catherine Asprey and I'm her director of external affairs. And so we're so happy to be here and thank you, Mandy and Jeffette, for having us. So the treasurer has been a huge supporter of CalEITC since her time in the legislature, and as a CPA, she knows like the value of filing taxes and getting the tax credits back that can then be used to push people out of poverty. So I'm here today, though, to talk a little bit about some of the programs that we have at the state treasurer's office that are financial tools that people can use. And so if you get a little bit of money back in your tax refund, you can use that money to put into different savings accounts that will help you prepare for the future. So the first one is CalAble. So CalAble is a savings and investment account for individuals with disabilities. It allows individuals that do have disabilities to save up to $19,000 a year without impacting their disability benefits. So before CalAble came along, individuals that were getting SSI could only have $2,000 in their bank account. Without jeopardizing those benefits. So this allows people to save a lot more than $2,000 that can be used for disability related expenses. And then our next savings program is CalSavers. And so that is California's retirement savings program. And it's designed for workers who don't have access to a retirement plan through their employer. So now employers that have one or more employees are required to register for CalSavers, and it offers a mechanism for employees to save for the future. Okay. Our next program is CalKids. And so CalKids is relatively new. It's 2 years old. It provides children with free money for higher education. So anyone born in California after July 1st, 2022 is eligible to receive a seed deposit up to $175. And students that are considered low income can receive up to $1,500. So this is free money. We're calling it the easiest scholarship in California. And the money just needs to be claimed by the eligible individuals. And it can be used for higher education, trade schools, or college and universities. And our next program is we're really excited about. It's Hope Trust Accounts. It's coming soon. It will be launched in early 2026. So we're just letting people know about it now. It will provide a trust account to eligible children who lost their parents to COVID. It will also provide trust accounts to individuals that have been in the foster system for over 18 months. These accounts are expected to grow up to $4,500 by the age of 18. So we have all these tools available. I encourage everyone to go to our website, www.treasurer.ca.gov and check out these tools. And if you have any questions, please also reach out to our office at askfiona@treasurer.ca.gov. And I do have the treasurer here. She just walked in, so she just wants to say hello and thank you.
Thank you so much. We are celebrating Lunar New Year here at the State Building in San Francisco. Just want to thank everyone for everything you all do. Let's, stick together, help each other, support each other, and love each other. Thank you so much to United Ways for everything you all do to get the word out about all of our important resources that are available. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Treasurer Mon. Thank you so much, Catherine, for joining us today. They have all of these amazing programs that they just talked about, and we are really happy to support all these programs, not only through our free tax prep sites, but through our site, mymoneypath.org. So it's a really wonderful way to get connected to all these programs. CalAble in particular, I'm just going to scroll back there so you guys can get another look at it, is a really important resources for people who are receiving disability income, and maybe they're afraid to do their taxes because what that large tax return might mean for them. And so it's really important to know that you could put that money into these CalAble accounts and it's not going to impact your SSI or your disability payment. So I know that that's a really real fear for many people, and these CalAble accounts are a really essential resource. The other thing that we like to say is sometimes you're like, what do I do with my tax refund, right? Maybe you're going to put it into a savings. Things like saving for retirement, saving for education. These are all really amazing things that you could do with your tax return and when you get involved with these programs. So also share. I have a ScholarShare account, which is in partnership with Cal Kids. It's an amazing program. I think what's really wonderful about it as well is, you could start saving slowly. Doesn't mean you have to save a lot of money all at once. I think what's really wonderful about Cal Kids is the fact that you can get $1,500 for free from the state to support your children's education is really huge. And so we know that this money makes a difference. This can help pay for tuition. It could pay for books. It could help pay for a laptop, for materials, supplies that your children need whenever they go off to college one day. So we are really supportive of these programs. Like I mentioned before, you can go to the Treasurer's website, or you can learn more about these at our website, myfreetaxes.org. So you might be wondering, you learned about all these things. You learned about what partners are doing on the ground. You learned about these free filing options, what we are doing to help community members become financially stable. There's a lot of things that you could do to get involved. And the hope is when you walk away from here, my hope is that you could walk away with one tangible thing to say, this is what I can do next. This is how we can get involved as an organization, or this is how I can get involved as an individual.
She just wants these two. Okay.
So first thing, you've already done it. You're here today. So the first thing is educating yourself. Educate yourself on tax credits, on free tax prep, and really understanding why this resource is more than just a process of filing your taxes for free, and really understanding the deep impact that it has. The next thing that you can do is you could share our toolkit. So we've got a robust toolkit that's available in English and Spanish. We've also got flyers, we've got posters, we've got videos. We want you to share these out in your community with your constituents, with your community members. The next thing that you could do is you could either refer volunteers or you yourself can become a volunteer. Like our partners mentioned earlier today, this resource is not possible without the work of our unpaid volunteers. And so recruiting volunteers is a really, really essential part of our free tax prep program. What's really wonderful is you do not need to be a free tax prep expert to do any of this. The IRS has a training, so you go through the process, you get certified by the IRS, and you get the support of a local partner through the entire process and while you are doing people's taxes. So we've got free tax prep sites all over the state, and they all need more volunteers. So if you are interested in volunteering or you want to help spread the word, you can text the word volunteer to 211-211, or you can visit myfreetaxes.org. Now, last step is tier 4, which is becoming a VITA site. So the more VITA sites we have, the more that the service is available to a wider range of people. And that is the ultimate goal, right? We want to have VITA in every single community across the state. And so if you are ready to take a big step, make a larger commitment, maybe you can fund a VITA site in your region, or maybe you can start your own VITA site. We've got VITA sites that have been started by churches and temples all across the state. We have sites that are on school campuses. We have college campuses all over the state that are involved in VITA. And then, of course, through community-based organizations as well. So we've got best practices guides. We've got things to help you along the way to help you get started if you are not sure where to start. You want to stay connected with us, or maybe you heard some of the things that I just talked about and you're like, I want to get more involved. I want to open a VITA site. I want to start volunteering. We've got several different ways that you can keep in touch with us. The first is through our monthly CalEITC meetings, where we have coalition partners from all over the state. We provide updates on what's happening in the free tax prep world. We talk about policy things that are happening, and we share best practices and we help troubleshoot together. The next is we've got a couple of different monthly newsletters that we send out. If you want to get added to our listserv, let us know. And then, of course, we've got our Prosper California Coalition. So if you are interested in supporting more of the advocacy efforts and the policy efforts that are happening on the back end, the Prosper California Coalition is a great place for you to help out. So we are going to wrap things up right now. And I know that Jafet has put a couple of things in the chat for you all, but like we said, stay connected, join us, get involved. We really appreciate all of you for being here with us today. I appreciate all of our partners for coming and helping and support. We would not be able to do any of this work without our coalition partners that are all across the state of California. So happy CalEITC Day, and take care and stay well.